If you think XRP can hit $10,000, you're already priced out of the future, pundit Ripple. In a bold proclamation, an influential voice in the XRP ecosystem has claimed that XRP reaching a $10,000 valuation isn't a matter of speculation but simple economics. The commentator, Pumpius, argues in a series of tweets that macroeconomic instability, the rise of real-world asset tokenization, and Ripple's expanding institutional infrastructure all point to XRP playing a central role in an impending financial reset. Pumpius begins his case with a macroeconomic perspective, emphasizing the long-term devaluation of the US dollar. He points out that since the US abandoned the gold standard in 1971, the dollar has reportedly lost over 96% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, the US national debt now exceeds $34 trillion, with annual interest payments surpassing $1 trillion. In parallel, Pumpius suggests that the Federal Reserve has no choice but to continue printing money, further inflating asset values. He argues that this environment creates the perfect storm for alternative settlement layers like XRP to capture a significantly larger share of the global financial system. Another core pillar of the $10,000 XRP thesis is the rapidly emerging sector of real-world asset RWA tokenization. Major institutions such as BlackRock, Morgan, Citi, and HSBC are actively developing infrastructure to tokenize assets ranging from real estate and equities to carbon credits and sovereign debt. Estimates suggest that $16 trillion and $30 trillion worth of real-world assets could be tokenized by 2030. According to Pumpius, these tokenized assets will require infrastructure for instant, secure, and interoperable settlement across borders and platforms. He believes XRP is uniquely designed for this role. His statement refers to native features on the XRP ledger, such as atomic settlement, the decentralized exchange, and fast, low-cost transfers. Furthermore, Pumpius noted that Ripple has already built a global network, with more than 300 banks and financial institutions using RippleNet. He stressed that Ripple has far exceeded a project in its developmental stages. Specifically, he highlights that Ripple's on-demand liquidity (ODL) service, now rebranded as Ripple Payments, is active in several countries worldwide. The company has also launched RLUSD, a regulated XRP ledger-native stablecoin to facilitate institutional-grade liquidity flows. Ripple has also invested heavily in custody solutions to support large-scale digital asset movements. In Pumpius's view, this positions XRP not as a speculative token, but as a foundational settlement layer for the future of finance. At the core of the $10,000 prediction is a monetary velocity model. Pumpius outlines a scenario where XRP captures even a modest share of global financial flows, such as 10% of the $7.5 trillion daily foreign exchange market, 10% of tokenized real-world assets, and 5% of global debt settlements, and operates at a high transaction velocity. He believes the constrained supply of XRP could drive the price into 4 or even 5-digit territory. Notably, critics of this bold claim often point out that such a price would imply a market capitalization in the quadrillions, far exceeding the size of all global financial markets combined. However, proponents counter that market capitalization is a flawed metric for utility tokens used in high-speed settlement loops. Overall, Pumpius's message emphasizes a global liquidity transformation in which XRP becomes a core infrastructure layer. In his view, those evaluating XRP solely based on hype cycles or past performance are missing the broader picture of institutional integration and macroeconomic shifts. As a result, he boldly asserts that those who dismiss the possibility of XRP ever reaching $10,000 are already priced out of the future. According to him, XRP going to $10,000 per coin is not crazy, but ignoring the setup that could trigger such a move is what's truly crazy. For context, with XRP trading at $2.20 today, Reaching $10,000 would represent an extraordinary growth of approximately 450,445%.